Hello and welcome to VB 411. I'm your host, Ms. Information, the know-it-all in City Hall, here again to bring some truth and clarity to misconceptions and rumors. Our next topic, the city budget. Now, since this is a complex topic, we're devoting our entire episode to it and then some. By the time we're done, though, I promise you'll leave with a basic understanding of the city manager's proposed budget. Now, the City of Virginia Beach is a $2 billion municipal corporation. As you might expect, budgeting for everything from animal control to zoning is a complex process. It's also one of the most important processes that we have because the annual budget establishes funding levels and priorities for city operations and infrastructure construction. Now, residents often ask us, what's in the budget? How do you figure out what to spend it on? And how can I weigh in on this process? All great questions, so let's get you to the 411. City Manager Dave Hansen presented his recommended budget to City Council on March 26th. Now, it will be up to City Council to make adjustments and, following citizen feedback, adopt the final budget in May. The complete details of the City Manager's proposed budget can be found online at www.vbgov.com/budget. Now, the executive summary provides an overview of the operating budget and the Capital Improvement Program, or CIP. The city manager's transmittal letter to City Council explains how the budget funds the city's services while especially focusing on the council's 5 priority areas: stormwater, recurrent flooding and sea level rise, public safety, transportation, schools, and economic development. Now, City Council established these priorities after discussing goals at a recent retreat that considered citizen feedback collected during an online survey, emails, and comments during community meetings. Now, if you'd rather hear an overview of the city's proposed budget, you can watch Budget and Management Services Director David Bradley's presentation at www.vbgov.com/budget. The recommended budget dedicates $55 million in next year's CIP and $395 million by 2025 to address infrastructure needs for stormwater and sea level rise. Now, this is part of an overall plan to invest as much as $3 billion in infrastructure over the next 50 years. In fact, funding for this priority area will account for 23% of all capital investments, up from 7% just 3 years ago. Now, flooding has been identified as a top priority for City Council. To that end, the upcoming budget and the proposed fee increases are crafted with that goal in mind. To meet this need, the stormwater utility fee will proceed with an already scheduled 2.5-cent increase plus an additional cent, which is being recommended by the city manager. Additionally, he's suggesting a 1.5-cent increase on the real estate tax for stormwater-related funding. This will add 10 new full-time employees, or FTEs, to accelerate project delivery. In the area of public safety, numerous positions have been proposed. 12 police officers will be moved to the field and their previous positions filled and converted to civilian jobs. Additional staffing for Animal Control and Adoption Center will also be recommended. 6 FTEs are proposed for the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office to handle the increased workload of processing footage from police body-worn cameras. 15 FTEs are being considered for the fire department and 8 for emergency medical services to staff the new fire station at Burton Station. Transportation focuses on congestion relief at our intersections and traffic calming in our neighborhoods. Over the next 6 years, the city is set to invest $291 million for various improvements to areas such as Centerville Turnpike, North Great Neck and London Bridge Road, and First Colonial and Virginia Beach Boulevard. Congestion relief will happen in order of priority, not in order of spending. For education, the budget includes all necessary funding to continue the current expansion of all-day kindergarten, numerous improvements to school safety, and adding about 79 full-time positions. In all, that's about a $25 million increase. While the school board has requested an additional funding of 0.85 of 1 penny to accelerate the implementation of all-day kindergarten, this has not been included in the manager's recommended budget. Finally, growing our economy is a long-standing council goal. Through key projects such as the Dome site, the Biomedical Park, the 17th Street Revitalization Program, the Lynn Haven Corridor, and Point One, we can continue to keep our city attractive to businesses and individuals. By doing so, we can grow the tax base to pay for the quality and quantity of services that our residents have come to expect. Some of the other proposed changes include a $2 per month increase in the waste collection fee, up from the current $23 per month. And for the first time since 2009, the city manager is proposing a 49-cent per 1,000 gallon increase to the household water rate. Now, this would bring the new rate up to $4.90 per 1,000 gallons. For an average household using 5,000 gallons of water per month, it comes to about a $2.45 bump in the bill. It is important to note, however, that Virginia Beach will continue to enjoy the lowest average residential water charge in the region. Now, this is only a small sampling of a few areas of the city's overall budget. At its core, the budget is there to provide an outstanding network of services to our residents and visitors while ensuring we're good stewards of the taxpayer dollars. I would strongly recommend anyone who wants to know more to look over the documents available at www.vbgov.com/budget. And if you've got any questions, well, send me an email at misinfo@vbgov.com and I'll help you find the answers. Now, how do you get involved in the budget decisions? Oh, let me count the ways. First, you can sign up to speak at either one or both of the public hearings. First is on April 24th at Old Donation School, and the second is April 30th at City Hall. Now, both meetings will be streamed live to vbgov.com, VBTV, and Facebook, so you can also tune in from home. Second, you can visit www.vbgov.com/budget and use the Open Budget tool to see exactly what's being spent in the current fiscal year. Now, on the same page, you'll also find the Balancing Act tool, where you can create your own city budget and decide what gets spent and where. You can even submit your budget when you're finished. Submissions are compiled by staff and sent to City Council prior to their vote on the budget. There's also a neat tool called Taxpayer Receipt. Click on it, and it'll ask you a few questions about your income if you own a home or drive a car. Enter the information, and you'll be presented with a breakdown of where and how every penny of your tax dollars are spent. Third, City Council members will often ask specific questions about department budgets or even specific programs. The responses are posted to the Budget Office's website for everyone to view. Finally, keep an eye on www.vbgov.com for announcements of community meetings you can attend. Those forums are a prime opportunity to ask questions and provide feedback to your elected officials. For more information about the city's budget, head over to www.vbgov.com/budget. And now you're in the know. Thanks for joining me today. Do you have a question you'd like us to answer on the air? Send an email to misinfo@vbgov.com and we'll get on it. See you next time.